Welcome back, fellow gamers. I want to talk to you today about what happens in a multiplayer game where one player gets eliminated. So, we encounter this every time we play Magic, right? Somebody gets eliminated. There's, a 3-4 person game. And a lot of the times what will happen is that one person would have had control over somebody's stuff. Like whether it's through, a Memnarch or it's through something like bribery. Somebody will end up with somebody else's stuff at one point if there are enough players at the table. Well, what happens to those things once a player leaves the game? So, if there is an action that causes an object to enter the battlefield under another player's control, so let's, for the clarity purposes of me just speaking about it, player A casts something like bribery that causes your object to enter the battlefield under their control. Once they leave the game, because that thing was never under your control on the battlefield to begin with, that leaves the game with the player. If they played a card like Control Magic, what will happen there is that player A will have his Control Magic being taken off and you will be getting back your card. So those are two different scenarios in which a player leaving the game will affect objects that you own. Now you also might be asking what would happen with an Oblivion Ring. So Oblivion Ring is an instance where there's no trigger for the game to realize that a player has left the game. The thing that is in exile stays in exile. So it's a great way to permanently remove something that you wanted to get rid of. Unfortunately, you need to be eliminated from the game in order to really take advantage of it. Or, just have somebody else cast the Oblivion Ring and then eliminate them. Will be a great way of dealing with the threat permanently. But those are the situations in which you'll find yourself dealing with players exiting the game and whether or not stuff will revert back under your control. So the big rule of thumb is that if at any point you controlled it when it was on the battlefield, it reverts back to your control. If it never was under your control because of one of the myriad of cards and abilities that are available that allow somebody to take control of the card from the get-go, that means that will leave the game with that player. So you won't be able to use your own thing that got exiled. I hope that was of some help to you. I know there's a bit of confusion around exactly what happens. Sometimes people just think that everything shifts back to the other player, and sometimes people also think that everything just gets exiled with the player. So as you can see, there's no clear-cut, dry answer. It really depends on how it entered the battlefield. That's the golden rule that you need to remember when a player gets eliminated. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like to expand on this or if you can think of any other scenarios that might play out that might warrant somebody needing to know like the minute details of Commander. Doesn't even have to be leaving the battlefield, leaving the game related, anything to help the players out with Commander. In the meantime, you can check out some of my other videos right over here, and if you'd like to subscribe, you can do that right there. It not only lets you know when we upload new videos, but it also helps the channel out, and it's greatly appreciated. Until next time, good gaming.